As you can tell by the dramatic change in my background, I'm a very different person from who I was in the last video that you've seen. I have found out things and I have realized stuff. Some of which blew my mind, some of which I was like, wow, I can't believe it took me this long to figure it out. But today we're going to be displaying my ignorance out to the world because that is always fun. Number one. The reason why parents and the general older generation send videos through WhatsApp is because they don't use YouTube, and the only social networking site that they maybe know is Facebook, and not all of their friends are on Facebook, and they don't really use Twitter unless it's for like news or something. So then in the end they think of WhatsApp as a social media place. This is where their friends are. This is why they share their videos through WhatsApp. I don't know why it really blew my mind, but it did. So anyway, moving on to number two. Instagram. Here's the thing. Instagram is a really big thing in the Arab world, especially in the Gulf. And it has, obviously created a lot of opportunities for women. They can open their businesses on Instagram, they can do stuff like that, and that's great. But everyone is on Instagram. And I only realized this recently that a lot of people's pictures are like heavily edited or like properly taken, and it's such a big production for some people. And a lot of the time, what they put on their Instagram is not who they are in real life. And when I noticed the first person and when I realized that that's what they were doing, I started seeing it everywhere. And it annoyed me so much. And I figured out that hashtag no filter, okay, it means hashtag no filter. But that does not mean the person has not played around with the brightness of the picture. That doesn't mean that they still haven't enhanced it in some way. And I think that's kind of cool, you found a way around the hashtag no filter. But here's the thing. I know that not everyone is posting a fake life up on Instagram. But when I noticed, I was like, wow, there are a lot of people to unfollow. And see, in some ways, Instagram is like an aesthetic, like, ooh, like this is how I want my life to be, kind of. This is how I want to remember it. This is why I'm doing this or that. That's great. But like there's sometimes such a big difference between who the person is and who they are on social media. I don't know, I got so annoyed I deleted it, and that feels kind of weird. Okay, this third one needs a little bit of an introduction. I'm hoping the people who don't like me have already clicked away and are not going to be watching this with like hatred and judgment. So, I didn't figure this out recently, but I've been mulling it over in my mind for the past like 6 or 7 months or something when I first like got an inkling of what this means. And it kind of changes the way that you see everything, and it opens up a new philosophical field of like thought and discussion. So, without further ado, I found out that the word kafir comes from kafara, which the literal translation is, and I'm paraphrasing here, is that you are burying the seeds under the sand. And this is supposed to mean that you're burying the seeds of truth under the sand. And so the reason why the word kafir exists is because you're saying that someone else is burying the seeds of truth despite the evidence. Okay, I'm gonna try to say this in the briefest way possible because I don't want the video to be about this. But that means that anyone who is trying to find the truth is not a kafir. Anyone who is blindly following everyone else, that could be considered to be a kafir. So like there are some people who would definitely not call themselves kafar, who might fit in that category. And okay, I've been thinking about this for around 7 months, so I have a lot to say about that subject, and I might make a new video about that. But I don't want to talk too much about religion because I have a feeling YouTube isn't the best place on the planet to have a good and open discussion. So that is, I guess, number 4 maybe. Okay, comments, be nice. Back to the mildly superficial. Number 5, I have found out that just because you are not white and you don't get sunburnt, that does not mean you don't need sunscreen. So I have started to wear sunscreen, and I feel like it's changed my face skin. I don't know, I guess it's just like a PSA, like, by the way, we all need sunscreen. Turns out, when you go shopping and you buy clothes, and you feel like every store does not cater to the form of a human being, that does not mean that the clothes that you inevitably have to buy that are in the wrong size can't fit. Tailors exist. You can get your clothes to fit you. So usually when I buy pants, like jeans, I go a size up or 2 sizes up because like jeans are made to be like the tightest thing on the planet. Like that's in fashion, and I get that that's nice, but it's not comfortable to live in. So I get my jeans a little bit on the bigger side, but that just means that I have a lot of extra fabric around the crotch/bottom area. So that means I need to wear a belt all the time unless I get my clothes tailored. And I guess I just wish that I had stopped being lazy earlier, because I can't tell you how different my life is. If I leave the house not wearing a belt, I don't have to awkwardly pull my pants up and hope that my butt doesn't fall out. I can live without belts, and you can too. The last thing is something that I find out over and over again. Turns out no one cares about the stupid things that you do. And the people that do care are really, really not worth your time and not worth your energy. Unless it's someone that you actually like value their opinion. Then you're like, oh, you are giving me a criticism. I'm taking that criticism, criticizing the criticism, seeing if it's true or not, and then deciding whether to incorporate that into my life. But when you live your life knowing that most people don't care, and you remind yourself that most people don't care about anything that you do, it's really freeing. And I guess that's all I have to say. I'm sure in the future I will find out a lot more obvious things that everyone else already knows. But until then, it's been real and it has been fun. Peace out. Goodbye.